We are going to be playing Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. We're also going to be looking at how they genre bust. Nintendo likes to do that. They like to do things a little bit differently, which I have a lot of respect for. My timing is terrible right now. Press start to switch positions between front and back. There we go. I'd completely forgotten about that, actually. A and B control the lead. B's behind the back. We want to have Mario. We want to have Luigi. What if you can control them both? This is definitely not how you would play most RPGs at all. This is a very deviant idea. Looking at classy genre busting, they kept in line with the game world, but took another angle. It's not like, oh, this is just a new series, and that could be cool. You can make a whole new series with new mechanics and all that. There's nothing wrong with that, and a lot of us would be starting there. But yeah, they're like, okay, Mario and Luigi, we're in line with this game world. We've done RPGs before, but now you can control them both at the same time. Like, I think that just the question of, hey, what if you could control them both at the same time is a really smart one. It's quite a bit that they were experimenting with here. It was pretty bold, really. I know that one of the things that I've thought of for my own games is avoiding trying to experiment with too many things at once, and Nintendo, they just kind of experiment in so many ways at once, it feels like, which is cool. Like, I respect that, and I think it's partly like an experience thing. I feel like they've got experience to where they can handle those kinds of processes and brainstorming more effectively, but they also just work with a core mechanic in general, and then they go from there. One thing that I think of, though, with the classy genre busting is experiment with each gameplay loop. For example, this could mean that in your RPG, rather than just looking at, hey, how do we adjust battle system, you're also looking at, hey, how could we experiment with the overworld system? How do we experiment with the cutscene systems? How do we experiment with our branching path systems? How do we experiment with our inventory systems? How do we experiment with our equipment building systems? How do we experiment with our level up systems? If you're going to try to genre bust a little bit, if you're just looking at one thing, you're not really seeing the whole picture of the genre. RPGs, if you think of like a classic RPG style, it's not just about the battles. Mario and Luigi here, I wouldn't say that they do something groundbreaking in everything. They didn't experiment in every way, but they experimented with overworld and battles, very much so. The leveling up system there's a bit of experimentation with, but it's pretty light. Experimenting with each gameplay loop, not just looking at one aspect of the game. They got a lot of goofy fun stuff in there. The tone to me is a lot of fun. They kept in line with the game world, but they took another angle on it. They experimented with each gameplay loop. I like to have 3 points here. Look at ways to combine elements. One of the big things that they did in this is that it wasn't just, hey, you can now control Mario and Luigi at the same time. They looked at ways to combine their different abilities to do new things. And that's a very common thing. For example, what if you combined your battle system with your inventory management system in a new way? If you stack these items in this way, then you can pull them out as a combo and use them all at once. Or what if you were looking at other ways that you could combine your cutscene system and your battle system? And a lot of games will do this sort of thing, but what if it was like, hey, if you defeat this boss, or if you play the boss this way, then it will affect your dialogue options later on. Or it will end up choosing different dialogue options based on how you play in this minigame. What if your cooking system and your battle system were combined so that in the game you have to combine your items in order to find the right weakness for the enemy? It's not just about doing one thing, it's about combining them. So I think that those are 3 cool ways to do some classy genre busting. I enjoy Nintendo's RPGs a lot, and I think it's mainly because Nintendo never likes to do things the way that everybody else is doing them. They always have to have some other twist to it, and I really respect that. And I like seeing experimental things because if you're big into any medium, generally you like any deviations from the norm. You find that interesting and fun, and I know for me that's the case. Maybe that's not true for everyone, but for me, I like seeing deviations from the norm because it's like, I played a lot of video games. Oh, this is different from what I'm used to. Awesome. Love it. Thank you so much for watching. If there's any game you'd like me to study, then please comment below and let me know. And also, if you would like to get in live on these streams, then you can follow me on Twitch at Josh Paulison. Thanks, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day. Oh yeah, like and subscribe and stuff.